top-ranked Temple. Then you're going to see explosive Oklahoma of the Big Eight square up against Rollie Massimino's surprising Villanova Wildcats.
All right, Jim, but coming up first in our pregame show, we'll look back at a stunning evening last night for the state of Kansas. And Gary Paul Gates will have a modern-day version of the Philadelphia story. But right now, as we approach game time at the Meadowlands, let's check in live with Tim Brandt and Bill Raftery.
All right, James Brown, and welcome to the Meadowlands Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey for the championship of the East between Duke and Temple. And hello again, everybody. I'm Tim Brandt along with Bill Raftery, and we've got a guest, the Temple tactician.
Well, we could use some help, Timmy, but you ate a lot of hot dogs and put too much weight on.
No, don't say that.
And you took the plate from your wife.
No, don't. See, you guys got me in trouble. I didn't know what you had said about the hot dogs. And I came home, and she looked at me and she said, "You eating those hot dogs with the cholesterol and all the triglycerides in it." And I was in trouble all night. So don't say anything.
Like the game itself. Friesbeck threw a bad pass. John got all over him, and you were upset.
Yes, because he knows better than that. He knows better than to try a pass like that. So we took him over to the psychiatrist, had him take an exam. He's all right.
Analyze the game for us as you see it.
I think it's going to be a clean, smooth slice made by Temple and good surgery, and we'll be ready for Kansas City.
Hope you're smiling.
Huh? I'm smiling now. But I made a wager with a guy who said that if Duke wins, I'll wear their T-shirt on the Cosby Show, and I will.
Terrific.
But I wish everybody good luck.
Dr. Cosby, Bill Raftery, and Jim Nance, we're just about set. It's Duke against Temple, the two top seeds in the East. Jimmy?
All right, tip-off about 20 minutes away. Now we know where Raftery gets all of his one-liners from.
Smart man.
He's going to want his own primetime show next. We're going to continue on the road to the Final Four on CBS in just a moment.
Regionals.
Our team did a great job of staying wide, getting good spacing, and opening things up on the inside for me. And I was very fortunate in the first half that all my shots were dropping. In the second half, like Coach said, I lost my legs and I couldn't find the jumper.
Kansas State coach Lon Kruger continues the clean sweep for the state of Kansas.
A three-pointer could tie it. Time has expired. Now, if you tell me you got to go scout Kansas, I'm not going to believe you.
Well, I think we know each other pretty well. They're awfully good, and they're playing very, very well right now. And, you know, Larry does a great job. We got our hands full. They probably have the emotional edge now because we beat them last time.
In the West, North Carolina cheerleaders had a lot to shout about last night. J.R. Reed was too much on the inside despite a horde of defenders. Dean Smith liked what he saw, as well as teammate Scott Williams playing a good support role, helping Carolina roll by 9. And Dean Smith advances to the regional finals where the Tar Heels will meet Arizona. Arizona dismantled Iowa last night with good team play. McMillan shot is off, but Sean Elliott is on the inside for the rebound and the slam and the win.
It's going to be a heck of a basketball game, I think. But our guys haven't backed off anybody all year long, so we're looking forward to playing the Tar Heels on Sunday.
By the way, Kansas and Kansas State do know each other pretty well. They played 3 times during the regular college basketball season, and Kansas State won 2 of those games by an average of 13 points, Jim.
You know, James, with Kansas and Kansas State meeting tomorrow, it of course means we'll have essentially a home team playing at Kemper Arena. Plus, of course, a Big 8 team will be there as well. Well, there are 3 Big 8 teams in the Final 8 with Oklahoma, of course, taking on Villanova later today. All right, when we come back, we'll look in on the man with the look, John Chaney of Temple, as the road to the Final Four continues after this. Gates has the story of this urban hotbed of hoops and the man who's never lost his shooting eye.
Philadelphia is a city rich in tradition and larger-than-life monuments. The founding father, known here as Billy Penn, clearly has the best view in town. Philadelphia also has had its share of larger-than-life athletes.
Sometimes they even try to blend the two cultures. Here's a tribute of sorts to the city's fictional hero, Rocky 7, or whatever number he's up to now. But there's nothing make-believe about Philadelphia's strong tradition in college basketball. And there, the championship teams don't just come from one school.
3 years ago, it was Villanova. This season, the team to beat is Temple. Without question, the basketball roots run deep in Philadelphia.
I would have to say that asphalt has a lot to do with it. The fact of the matter is that many of the youngsters come from poor backgrounds, enclosed quarters, not the suburban kind of situation.
Chaney himself learned the game on the mean streets of this city, and growing up here was not easy.
I just feel like I've come out of the earth, from the mud, so to speak.
John was the kind of guy that even when it snowed, he would go over and shovel the snow off the basketball court and practice. And when other people were out thinking about girls and things like that, John was thinking about basketball.
Chaney's boyhood friend is now principal of Benjamin Franklin High School, where John played basketball just a few blocks from Temple. He and Tom Gola were the best players of their time in Philadelphia. Gola went on to star at LaSalle, leading the Explorers to 2 national championships.
Most of the fellows in my day stayed at home. If you look at our 1952 NIT championship team, every fellow who was on the team was a graduate of either the public league in Philadelphia or the Catholic league in Philadelphia, which says something for, you know, the caliber of basketball at the high school level.
John Chaney wanted to stay at home too. His dream was to play for Temple, but he discovered that big-time college basketball was within an exclusive club dominated by white players. It wasn't until he was 50 years old that he finally made it to Temple, and then as head coach. But he had perfected a few tricks along the way.
I just try to put a hex on him. That comes from my mom and my grandma. The one-eyed jack stare is one that I look at you for about 2 minutes, and sometimes the guys don't look back, but they know I'm looking at him.
So far, Chaney has been able to stare the Owls into the regional finals, and Temple's most famous alumnus has been on hand for most of the action.
I have to be there.
Why is
my
that?
wife, because my wife let me have the family plane.
And if Temple does win it all, he'll fly home to exchange smiles with another Billy, the stately Mr. Penn, and it will be brotherly love time all over again. For CBS Sports, I'm Gary Paul Gates.
All right, James, you know, Duke played in the championship game 2 years ago, but it's been 30 years since Temple was in the Final Four. How do you see this one today?
Both teams are excellent defensively. They each have a great offensive player in Danny Ferry and, of course, Mark Macon. I think Duke's going to have the matchup problems on the inside.
All right, James. The first team going to Kansas City will come from the Meadowlands. Tim Brandt and Bill Raftery will have the call after this word from your local station.
Arena at the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey. A sellout crowd on hand to see which team reaches that dream and becomes the first team to advance to the Final Four. It's the 2 top seeds in the East, the Blue Devils of Duke and the top-rated Owls of Temple. Take a look at how they got there. Duke with wins against Boston University, SMU, and a close one Thursday night against Rhode Island. The Temple Owls have yet to be tested. Lehigh, Georgetown, and Richmond. And hello again, everybody. I'm Tim Brandt along with Bill Raftery. And Bill, this is a matchup that the selection committee had to envision 3 weeks ago when they selected the field of 64. What can we expect?
And, of course, Mark Macon, leading Temple, great offensive player. The courage to take the shot, that's the key. He has the green light. John Chaney has a lot of confidence in him.
Now, Duke's Billy King is one of the best defensive players in the country, and he's drawing that assignment against Macon.
He's going to be challenged because you've got a ball fake, and they've got the great ability by Macon to go by him. So he's going to need some assistance by the off people.
All right, let's talk some more, if we will, about Billy King, because he has stopped some marvelous players.
Well, the difference today, besides stopping these people, he's playing a guy his size, so he won't have those 2 inches to intimidate.
Now, when you think about this stage of the season, the championship game in the East, you think maybe the coaches can overcoach. Is that a true statement?
Both are disciplinarians, and of course, John Chaney, the advocate of the matchup zone, which can present problems for Duke. But Duke with tenacious man-to-man, great denial, so they may force some bad shots by Temple.
All right, Billy, the winner moves on to the Final Four. The loser is finished. The championship coming up. It's Duke and Temple.
CBS Sports coverage of today's NCAA.
Crowd at the Meadowlands Arena to see the teams there in the bottom. Temple advanced by beating Richmond. Duke got past Rhode Island 73-72. Let's meet the players. Here's our public address announcer, Dominic Elijah.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Meadowlands Arena for today's East Regional Final game between the Duke Blue Devils and the Temple Owls. Now let's meet today's starting lineups. For Duke, at forward, a 6'6" senior from Sterling, Virginia, number 55, Billy King. For Temple, at forward, a 6'9" senior from Freehold, New Jersey, number 33, Tim Perry. For Duke, at forward, a 6'10" junior from Bowie, Maryland, number 35, Danny Ferry. For Temple, at forward, a 6'7" junior from Morrisville, Pennsylvania, number 32, Mike Grieswig. For Duke, at center, a 6'5" sophomore from Fayetteville, North Carolina, number 21, Robert Brickey. For Temple, at center, a 6'10" senior from Carolina, Puerto Rico, number 44, Ramon Rivas. For Duke, at guard, a 6'3" junior from Mercer Island, Washington, number 14, Quinn Snyder. For Temple, at guard, a 6'5" freshman from Saginaw, Michigan, number 12, Mark Macon. For Duke, at guard, a 6'5" senior from Mount Airy, North Carolina, number 31, Kevin Strickland. For Temple, at guard, a 6'1" senior from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, number 21, Howard Evans. And introducing the head coaches. For Duke in his 8th season, Mike Krzyzewski, and for Temple in his 6th season, John Chaney.
The referees today, Larry Lumbo, Jim Bain, and Art McDonald. We're all set. We'll be back. Owls are 32-1, the number 1 seed in the East. The Blue Devils 27-6, and this is what the two teams have done in the past. Billy, there's a contrast in styles when you think defense.
Well, the matchup by Temple, Quinn Snyder's going to have to recognize and throw the different looks at them to beat it. And of course, the man-to-man by Duke, John Chaney's kids are going to have to V-cut, set their man up properly, and rub off screens.
Opening tap controlled by Temple. This is Evans. This is the half-court aggressive man-to-man defense by Duke we talked about. Billy King on Macon. Keep an eye on that matchup. This is Grieswig for 3.
A man after my own heart. No conscience. Just get the feet set.
What a way to start a championship game.
He and Macon have the green lights.
Now the matchup zone by the Owls. The kick out to King.
I believe Danny Ferry's going to have to score well for Duke.
Put it on the floor. Has it taken away. Gets it back.
They got to walk. He took advantage, Tim. You can grab the ball and stay put on the ground, but you can't roll over and get the advantage.
Temple averages under 10 turnovers a game, and they will force the opponent into turnovers. That's number 1.
They value the ball. They use the post slow for both Grieswig and Macon. They'll need help on the dribble now. Strickland.
This is Macon against Strickland. He fires way short. Air ball. And his arm hit by Strickland. Good no call.
Good cut by Brickey.
Look at Brickey on the baseline. Has it blocked by Perry. And a foul on Grieswig.
Strong effort inside. You notice Danny Ferry, excellent passer at 6'9", sees thing, recognized the good cut by Brickey, but Tim Perry, almost 4 blocks a game, seldom fouls, stays on the floor, got it clean the first time, and of course the ensuing struggle.
Oh, look at Mike Krzyzewski. In 8 years at Duke has established one of the true quality programs.
First 2 years, he was calling me for help, though, Tim. Not playing too well. He was really struggling. 10-11 wins, but they had confidence in him, and he's come through.
Hey, I was impressed. He said one of the greatest games he's ever seen. The two of you coached against each other.
Well, he wasn't that smart when he was younger.
Snyder for 3. Air ball.
Now, he's going to have to nail him. Mike Krzyzewski at the meeting said they need some outside shooting. Danny Ferry struggling. Quinn Snyder, a better shooter than that.
Duke 0 for 3 from the field.
Macon really uses the post.
King and Macon matched up again.
Great position.
This is Evans, drops it inside. Perry with the turnaround. The rebound, Strickland.
Rivas doesn't have the lateral motion for rebounds that some of the Duke kids have.
Patience is going to be a key for Duke.
Also reloading. Looking at the set, it doesn't work, bring it back out.
Snyder had the shot, didn't take it. This is Perry. Temple ball.
Danny has been struggling with the jumper. An intense Mike Krzyzewski. He's hoping that Danny can start perking.
That tells the story early on. They're working Perry.
Good turnaround jumper.
Move.
He's tough on the block. They've got to deny the ball in there.
Perry has such great leaping ability. When he gets up, he's shooting uncontested.
Again, the key is position. Make him go out a little further, make it a tougher shot.
Bricky on the baseline, and he's fouled by Rivas.
Now you notice the other night, Rivas can't get out. You have to attack his side. He doesn't have the foot speed. And John Chaney saying, use your head. It's not my head, coach. It's my legs.
Good look at the college coach of the year, John Chaney. Foul was on Rivas. That's his first. The second team foul against Temple.
They are not the same team without Ramon Rivas, the key guy in the center.
Macon with the rebound. It's a 5-0 Temple lead. 16:53 remaining in the half.
Again, a stacked look in both Frieswick and Roy Evans with a deep one.
Snyder with the rebound. Numbers aren't there. He'll pull up, give the Ferry in the lane.
Good pump. Again, Snyder with the recognition for the delay break.
And the Blue Devils are on the board.
Because without John Smith, they don't have that depth either. He has done a nice job for them this year.
Macon for two. They're going to play loosely on Snyder. This is Ferry.
It's not pretty. The crooked arm jump hook. Now watch, Tim. They've gotten the ball in the center. Temple now adjusts, takes that away. You have to counter with a new look. Let's see if Duke can do it.
Macon accepts the challenge and fires. Air ball, his second of this game.
Doesn't bother him, though, because John Chaney loves the youngster to tee it up. And the back will move up a little now if Duke gets the ball in the 3-second area.
It's going to be called the walk. Turnover number 2 for the Blue Devils.
He's got the tie over the shoulder. You know, he's a Dapper Dan dresser. Charlie Theokas was telling me John Chaney loves nice clothes. I'm not so crazy about the sweater myself, but keeps him comfortable.
Making a fashion statement with a tie over the shoulder.
Good rebound.
Great follow by Perry.
Quick up, isn't he? Quick to the ball, and of course, quick to get rid of it.
Temple lead is 5. King walks. No. Yes.
Billy King, 25 feet away, is not a good shooter. He's got to penetrate. Therefore, the walk.
Temple lead is 5.
You see Macon late, and he started on the officials, and of course, Larry Lembo coming over to help Art McDonald by calling the tee. Now, the interesting point, Temple had the ball, so it's not where he would lose the ball plus the 2. It's just the 2, and Temple regains the ball.
Howard Evans, 6'1", 180-pound senior, 83% free throw shooter.
Michael, of course, seated in the blazer on the sideline, talking to Quinn Snyder yesterday. I said, you know, your coach wore a uniform on the bench when he was at Army. And Snyder said, Coach, did you? I don't believe it. He said, no.
Coach K is still whooping on the bench. Still very upset about the technical call. (11-4) Temple. This is Breeswick.
Broke him down, but a little deep. This should be on Perry. Yeah, going the other way.
Perry came over the back.
Breeswick a little too deep. Macon just said to him, relax, put the hands out. John Chaney may be concerned about the depth of the shot. Boy, does he get in it.
Thought it was interesting yesterday when Mike Breeswick was asked, when do you know you're on? When can you tell that you're going to be hitting him? He says, I always feel that way.
Cosby said the great thing about John Chaney is that you can hear him, so you don't have to look all the time, because if you look, he'll scare you to death. Scare you to death.
Temple continues to give you different looks defensively out of that matchup. This is King. Fight for the rebound.
That was a nice set by Duke as well. Got a good shot, didn't fall.
Evans pushes it up quickly, goes right side, working on Snyder. Macon up quickly, off balance, his third air ball of the game.
Forcing a little bit. Don't forget, each game more important. As a freshman, you think a little bit.
Duke 2 of 8, Temple shooting 4 for 11.
Duke not really taking bad shots.
Neither is Temple, but Macon is 1 for 5. Strickland.
Good ball movement. Now they attack the corner. That's Reba's side. He can't get out.
That's for 3.
Good front by Robert Brickey that time.
Evans working on Snyder. King got lost for a second. Macon was open.
They should use Rivas a little more because Danny Furry's having the afternoon off defensively.
Macon, Evans. Big rebound for Rivas, and he walks.
In analyzing that Temple zone, Mike Krzyzewski said the difference in this matchup than any other they've faced all year is Tim Perry, the intimidator and shot blocker. Other clubs don't have that type.
See the turnover situation. You mentioned that Danny Ferry's having the afternoon off. And yet, even when they're not doing much down there, they're pushing, they're getting their hands on each other, they're waiting.
First, by the afternoon off, I mean defensively. He can relax and jam things up on Tim Perry.
I know what you mean.
Guys never take offense off.
Snyder with the crossover. Nice bounce pass down low. Hickey has it rejected. Very wisely, Breeswick holds it up.
Ingrained in their system. You don't have the numbers, back it out.
It's fun to watch Macon away from the ball as well, trying to break free.
It's the only way you'll get free. Run good cuts off your postman.
You can tell it's a championship game. Breeswick has blood on his jersey. Snyder just left it. Ferry gets it back.
See Macon almost in the passing lane. He'll pick up a couple during the afternoon.
Brickey complains down on the baseline to the official that he's being pushed by Rivas.
You can see the preparation. They're leaving Billy King alone out here.
Snyder for 3.
Good check off by the wide body. Then he goes through the per diem.
Right now, Brickey and Rivas is a mismatch when Duke has the basketball.
See Furry able to help.
Perry almost loses it, kicks it back out front to Evans.
Good rotation.
Evans on the baseline has the layup.
Heady player. He's the catalyst, the extension from John Chaney. Really aware.
That breaks a drought of 2.5 minutes by both teams.
Well, in the deny, you're over the top of the post defense. It sometimes open up a lane and you can't get your big guy to recover.
But Brickey down low now with Rivas trying to free up. This shot's for 3, falls short. Brickey gets the rebound.
A little quicker pace on the Duke shooting. Good post up.
Here's the match we were telling you about. Outmatched underneath.
Two-handed block by Tim Perry. Steps again. That's Billy King's lack of confidence in the outside shot. 2 walks already.
King is frustrated.
Now, I've had some shots blocked one-handed, but this one Tim Perry can have lunch and wait. It's both hands up there. Great anticipation.
Greg Kubek comes in, Ala Abdelnaby comes in, and Phil Henderson comes in for Duke. Wholesale changes for the Blue Devils. Barry and King, of course, remain in the ball game. This is Macon. Another air ball.
Rivas able to carve out a spot. Great reaction.
4 air balls now for Macon.
Rushing a little bit, I think. He was free. He had set his man up. Bill King took the high side. Still missed it.
Ala Abdelnaby, who just came into the ball game, is charged with a foul for Duke. That's his first personal.
Great story by John on recruiting Ramon Rivas. Told his dad he would be his father for 4 years, and that made it comfortable for him to leave Puerto Rico and come to Philly.
But John Chaney says, you tell your dad I'm your father here. I'm the only one who can put you in and take you out. Don't forget, coming up, our doubleheader, Villanova against Oklahoma. Can Rollie do it again?
2 interesting philosophies. Tee it up, Billy Tubbs and Rollie. Control.
2 fine coaches. Rivas hits, and it's 15-7. Temple, biggest lead of the game, 8 points.
Different look now by John Chaney. 1-3-1.
Kubek, who had a big game Thursday. Little jump hook short. Rebound, Temple. This is Evans, pushes it up right side, stops at the elbow, looks for the shot. Now we'll bring it out and set the offense.
They seldom make a mistake. They know the numbers, recognize the defense.
Macon frees up for just a second. Now uses the pick.
So much, huh, for air balls?
If you're Duke, you hate to see Macon hit it.
He can light it up. Again, the courage to take them.
He doesn't need much incentive.
Of course, playing with a veteran team, you're able to get away with some of those shots.
Kubek had a notion, instead kicks it back out to King. 9 minutes, 35 seconds remain in the half.
Temple's adjusted to take away the post pass.
Kubek for 3, can't get the drop. Rebound, Macon, whistle and a foul. And it's against Barry, he knew it.
Almost frustrated there as he went after it. They've got to make the outside shots. Right now, Duke is struggling from deep.
Tim Barry, 3 blocks, really affecting Duke's inside game. We'll be back.
Time he gets into the stack, sees King react to that, goes out, gets the ball. Rivas with the wide body comes up. They set a little dribble screen, and we'll take a look at it. Right here, he sees the switch, recognizes it, pops out, and now watch. Ramon Rivas could stop traffic on the turnpike. And of course, Mark Macon with the green light, able to tee it up at will.
There's Macon. And what better person to go to for a pick than Rivas? They've got him listed at 250 pounds. He has to be larger.
That may have been in October. I think he said the road trips kill him.
I'd like to buy steaks from the person who put that 250 in the program. .9:15 remaining in the half. Macon.
Look at the big guy works. Good job.
And Duke gets control. Kubek.
Duke's philosophy is to push it up. And that time, the big guy, Ramon Rivas, who had blocked the shot, gone up, really got caught in the backcourt.
Blue Devils needed that one badly. They had missed their last 5 shots. Great defense by Abdelnaby.
You saw the help in the rear as well.
Henderson pushes it up quickly to Ferry. May have gotten away with a walk. Abdelnaby in the lane. 3 seconds, no call.
Active hands, though.
Kubek looks, kicks it out to King. Ferry has the hot hand, wants the ball.
Notice the Duke kids breaking you down. They turn and face the guy, jab, step, see if he reacts. They'll put it on the floor or shoot it, depending what the defense does.
17-11.
Duke is 3 for 14 from the field. Ferry has 3 of 4 for the afternoon. 8 minutes exactly in the first half. Breezewell. His shot off badly to the right.
Well, if they make them, the defense adjusts to them, and John Chaney calls them the 3 backs. If they don't make them, they start going inside.
How long can Ferry carry the offensive load? He's the only one hitting.
I think that's why Kubek was put in for some outside shooting.
Lead's been cut to 6. This is Ferry. Once the shot penetrates, leaning to the left and hits.
I said, stop listening to Mike Krzyzewski on your shooting. He could never shoot when he played for Bobby Knight. He had a big smile. He said, I'm just going to shoot my way out of the slump.
I'm sure Coach K would love to hear you say that.
He smiled.
Kicks it inside to Perry. Abdelnaby with a big rebound.
I'm going to check that defense. I think they had switched to a triangle and 2. We'll check it the next time.
The Blue Devils are making a run. King was wide open. Instead gives it up to Ferry. They jump him quickly. Now King penetrates, gives it up to Kubek inside.
Is he terrific?
That's 4 blocks for Perry. And now Ferry walks.
Can't crossover. Got to put the ball down, but Tim Perry, what makes the combo work is they'll channel people to you. You think you're through. You think you've made a mistake. Look at the reaction by the big guy. All ball, seldom fouls, stays on the floor until the right time.
Tim Perry averages 3 blocks per game. He has 4 this afternoon. Duke's been on a 6-0 run. Bricky comes back into the ball game along with Snyder. Ferry gets his first break. Henderson remains in the ball game. Neither team shooting particularly well.
Not really, and again, both known for their defense.
He's given Macon the right side, overplaying him to the left, and Macon takes it. Air ball number 5 for Macon.
And Perry over the top. I believe that's number 2, isn't it?
It is. That's his second.
They're really sloughing off. I'm trying to observe Duke's defense. They're running down and playing the baseline dribbler, doing an excellent job.
Rivas comes back into the ball game for Temple. Macon just shakes his head back on defense as he looks over at John Chaney. Macon's 2 for 9 from the field goal percentage.
Henderson didn't just about grazed it. A little quick, but John Chaney, in watching tapes, takes anybody out with 2. You will not see Tim Perry for 6 minutes.
Approaching the 6-minute mark in the first half.
Look at the jam by the Duke defense.
Evans shot for 2. He's fouled by Snyder.
See how far usually you say in your man-to-man, split the basket when the ball is on the opposite side. They come all the way over to the side of the glass.
He's been a starter for John Chaney the last 3 years. Was the first sub his freshman year. 83% free throw shooter. CBS Sporting Time and Pacific. That competition began yesterday, continued today, and you'll see it all tonight here on CBS.
2 teams have shot 50% against this zone. UCLA and Villanova. You can see the shots they force you to take.
Look at Abdelnaby. Big power move. Gets his own rebound. Can't hit the shot, but he's fouled. And it's going to be on Coswell, I do believe.
They force you to take tough shots, but Abdelnaby, a local kid here from Bloomfield, New Jersey, highly recruited. Good, strong effort. I thought Coswell may have gotten them there. It was the next one. But they need some inside strength to compete with the big kids of Temple.
Henderson goes out of the ball game for Duke. And Billy King comes back in. First personal on Coswell. And Abdelnaby goes to the line. 74% free throw shooter. Abdelnaby is 6'10", 220 pounds, just a sophomore from Bloomfield, New Jersey. Rivas looks like a linebacker. Knocks the ball loose. Evans recovers the fumble.
Rivas fell in the 3-second lane, covered all the blue.
This is Breezewick. Penetrates right side and loses it. Here comes Strickland. Numbers aren't there. Penetrates right side anyway and scores.
One of the few times Temple did not pinch out there high.
Temple got back but didn't turn their backs. Didn't set up.
Didn't recognize the dribble.
Look at Breezewick, how intense he is. He's got blood on both sides of his jersey now.
They're automatic switching when they cross over Macon and Breezewick.
Macon has the ball knocked loose by Snyder. And Macon fouls. That's his first. The lead is 4.
Behind the hype and the hoopla, 48 hours, Thursday.
We're at the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey, and we're about to find out which team is the first to move on to Kansas City. 19-15 Temple, but Temple is in a scoring drought. No field goals in the last 5 minutes. Only 2 free throws by Howard Evans. You see the field goal percentage, neither team shooting well. Macon now 2 for 10 field goal range.
They were asking Mike Krzyzewski how he matches up with Bill Cosby. Does he have anybody in his program? He said his brother, 6'5", 250, fire captain from Chicago, just as funny as Cos.
Captain of the fire department in Chicago. This is Strickland.
He made, I think, 2 big baskets the other night, a 3-pointer and then a dribble jumper. He starts perking, certainly going to help the outside shooting.
We were just talking about the drought that Temple has.
Stack on either side. Dowdell in, give Breezewick a blow, and maybe a message.
I'm sure that's it.
He's back at the scores table right now, though, Tim.
It was more of a message than a blow. Evans working on Snyder. Takes it from there. This is the 3. Look at the blocking out by Temple. Rivas big inside with a pump fake.
Go get it, big guy. Without fouling, he just takes up so much room. You can't get your backside in and check him out.
Duke fans wanted a walk.
He plays in the summer in a very strong basketball league, Superior Basketball League in Puerto Rico. That's where John Chaney saw him. He said he never touched the ball because it's a guard-dominated league. He just did this kind of a job. Workman-like effort, going up strong on the glass.
Foul was on King. 14 fouls now for Duke. Breezewick comes back into the ball game, and Rivas goes to the line. And he hits the first one. Rivas says he comes to this game and gives his nickels worth.
I coached in that Puerto Rican league, and in the middle of the summer, the owner came and said to me, he comes with heavy heart, which meant I was fired. Great basketball.
Did you collect your severance?
Well, we were almost done. It was a great learning experience for me. I was 22 years of age.
And you were done. 21-17, Temple, 3:45 remaining first half. This is Strickland for 3.
Good screen off by Ferry.
Ferry with the turnaround.
Well, the ball's normally going to go long, so if you screen your man off, you can get the long offensive rebound.
Ferry came into the regionals, Bill, shooting 44% for the tournament. Really struggling offensively. Today, he's got a hot hand. 5 for 6 from the field.
King a step late, but he gets out as fast as possible.
Get it inside. They're going to call a foul on Bricky. This is what we were talking about. Bricky against the big guys.
Well, you've got to use your head. Mike Krzyzewski says Danny Ferry contributes by using his head. Not one of the great jumpers in the game, but position, able to deliver, and that stroke looks pretty good right now.
Then at the other end, Bricky gets charged with a foul, trying to work against the big guys. That's his first, and team foul number 5 against Duke.
Good pinch by Snyder. They're really reacting to Mark Macon. What a drought now, huh? Not able to do much, are they? Good man-to-man pressure right now by Duke.
This is Breezewick. He hits the shot. He's fouled by King.
He looks like a gunslinger, doesn't he? Mike Breezewick, not afraid to tee it up. You see the blood. Looks like he took a bullet. They use the post very well. They get their body in between the postman and their defender, and right here draws the attention by falling, but squared up enough to nail it.
King's second personal, one more, Duke's over the limit. Wasn't pretty, but Breezewick converts the three-point conversion.
A lot of communication. See Evans pointing out.
Again, Snyder has the shot, waits, and now he walks.
That's about 5 walks, isn't it?
Look at Mike Krzyzewski. He is really upset as you look at Snyder.
Players have to adjust to officials, too, and so far Duke has been unable to. You're going to have to just bounce it and forget about footwork.
Macon again. Wasn't an air ball, but it was close.
That was almost a double dribble. Snyder picked it up and then put it down.
King better be careful. He's got a trailer. Kicks it back out to Snyder. Big rebound for Breezewick.
Tell me he doesn't have body control. He avoided the trap here at half court. A normal player would have charged.
Natural athlete. Great jump stop straight up and scores. 26-19 Temple. So now Temple has exploded after a long drought. Ferry.
Bad foul, really. Rivas out there. It's tough to stop the big train when he gets those puppies moving. He went out on Ferry. But Macon right here at half court. A tough pass to handle and recognize the defense. He looked right over his shoulder to see the defender. Blew by, and just as you said, perfect form. Square up.
3 of 12 from the field today. Really having a tough day. Temple on a 7-2 run the last 3 minutes. So look at John Chaney, and it's the second foul on Rivas. And keep in mind, Rivas had foul problems Thursday night.
Most guys love to shoot the ball. Playing for John Chaney, Mark Macon is able to have a clear conscience and, of course, grow as a freshman.
Carey hits the first one. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, Jim Nance and James Brown. They'll discuss the tournament. We'll have a live report from Birmingham, Alabama with Dick Stockton and Billy Cunningham, and we'll also have an interesting feature on Rollie Massimino, rocking with Rollie.
When he wins, he puts a lot of weight on. He's going to have a tough summer, Rollie.
King sits down with 2 personals. Henderson comes back into the ball game for Duke. Danny Ferry at the line, 83% free throw shooter.
That's a snarl of a nice man, by the way, that shot. He always looks upset. Of course, he...
Which look was that?
He's got so many names for them, John Chaney. How about him in the lobby with me? I said, are you man at all, color casters? He said, well, I may hit you.
Breezewick for 3, comes off the front. There's a whistle and a foul underneath, and it's got to go against Temple. It does.
They got the right guy, too. Dwayne Coswell all over Robert Brickey.
Coswell's second, Bill. Yeah, what did John say to you? He said he wasn't mad at you, but he was going to hit you.
I asked him if you can run, John. He said, not too much. I said, well, you're in trouble. He said, well, I'll hit you in the back. He is intense, though. The sweater will be off in the second half.
It's hot in here, even though the teams aren't hot from the floor. Temple lead is 6. Brickey at the line. 1:36 remaining in the half. Bounces that one in rather gingerly. He's only a 69% free throw shooter.
Because I knew about John Chaney at Chaney State. Sensational record there. Finally recognized for what he is, a talented man.
Coach with Vivian Stringer, who's now at Iowa. And because of the lack of time and facilities, the women and men practice together.
Good denial. Boy, Rivas made some pick on Henderson.
Nice rebound by Ferry.
Breezewick almost came up with one. Did you see him in there?
You could hear Snyder yelling, Danny, Danny, hold it up. And they do.
They've run a lot of things. It's just the outside shooting. If they can nail a few.
Henderson is open.
Whose side? Rivas. Tough for him to get out there.
We're under a minute and the lead's cut to 3. The winner moves on to the Final Four. The loser ends the year. This is Macon.
Look.
Oh, my.
He leaned back to really get the body contact to get 3. Great first step.
Keep an eye on the clock. That's the game clock. Shot clock is off. And Duke will play with 1. Blue Devils going for that last shot. When do they move here, Billy?
It looks like they're going to, I'd say around 10, but not shoot it until late.
They do want a good shot. They just don't want Temple to have time to come back.
And John Chaney's going man-to-man now, so trying to disrupt Duke.
Strickland. Yes.
Boy, he can play a little bit. Into the flow.
That's the end of the first half with the score, Temple 28, Duke 25. Our coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
It has been trimmed to 3 at halftime in the East Regional Final at the Meadowlands. Welcome back to New York. Jim Nance along with James Brown across the Hudson. And so far in this ball game has really all the makings of a rough day for Mark Macon, as he has 4 out of 14 from the floor, including 5 air balls. But Temple is leading by 3 over Duke. Now, coming up later today here on CBS, you'll see the Southeast Regional Final between Villanova and the top seed there, Oklahoma. Dick Stockton and Billy Cunningham are our broadcasters, and here's a preview.
And this was the scene 3 years ago when the Villanova Wildcats scored perhaps the most dramatic upset to win the NCAA championship, beating Georgetown in a game they're still talking about. And this is the Jefferson Civic Center here in Birmingham, Alabama. And this was the site where Villanova won the Southeast Regional 3 years ago to go to the Final Four. And the site this afternoon of the Southeast Regional Final this time, and Villanova is in it. Hello again, everyone. Dick Stockton with Bill Cunningham. And, of course, Villanova hopes to smell the flowers again in Kansas City. But, Billy, get there. They're going to have to beat one of the most exciting teams in the country, Oklahoma.
They will, and they're going to have to control the tempo. It's no secret about this ball game. The coaches have talked about it. Villanova must control it. Use that 45-second clock up as much as they possibly can. And, of course, Oklahoma is going to pick them up, full court defensive pressure, and try to create an up-tempo game.
It is a stark, dramatic contrast in styles, and when Villanova gives up 100, they just don't win.
It's people that score. I mean, when they score 100 or more, they usually win or have won. They've only lost 3 games. So we're going to have to try to slow the pace down somehow.
See, they won't. You can't trick us because we're not paying attention. And we don't have to know what you're doing because we really don't care. We're going to do what we're doing. And so we can't be tricked. We're not smart enough.
Some people feel that Billy Tubbs sounds just like actor Jack Nicholson. And they feel that Rollie Massimino looks just like actor Danny DeVito. You be the judge. In any event, James Brown, 2 of these gentlemen will be facing each other in the Southeast Regional coming up shortly.
All right, Dick, you know, I can really relate to those 2 coaches because can you believe it, Jimmy? People actually think that I look like Jim Brown, the football player.
You mean you're not?
As if you didn't know. Jimmy, believe it or not, there's already 1 team headed to the NCAA Final Four. That's on the women's side of the action, as top-ranked Tennessee knocked off Virginia 84-76. Good game by the Lady Vols as Pat Head Summit was ready for the action today, as was her player Bridget Gordon, who was on fire for the Lady Vols with 14 first-half points. Virginia coach Debbie Ryan wanted to pick up the tempo a little bit here, and her team rallied to within 3 points on this Donna Holt jumper late in the second half. But Tennessee held on for the cushion, a big basket by Dawn Marsh, and Coach Summit's Lady Vols win it by 8 over Virginia. They now are in the Final Four, and the other 3 games you see there, that will take place later on tonight.
All right, next Sunday from Tacoma, we'll have the Women's Championship game. That's April the 3rd, 4 o'clock Eastern Time here on CBS. And the road to the Final Four will continue here on CBS after these messages and a golden anniversary tournament memory.
Oh, brother! Duke is befuddled. Here's a jumper by Goodrich. Good! That's 10 feet.
The 1964 team was a team that played with a great deal of confidence. We were undefeated that year, and with each victory, that confidence seemed to build and build. I think we expected to win. It would have been a real shock if we didn't win.
We know of no individual who better captures the full spectrum of life's passions than one Rollie V. Massimino, the man whose joy we enjoy sharing.
That's it. Villanova has done it.
The year was 1985, and Villanova stunned the basketball world. The nation took this underdog team to heart, but the man who stole the show was a charismatic coach who never held back his feelings.
I think it's part of my cultural makeup, quite frankly. I'm Italian, and when you're Italian, you have to be emotional. I'm a very emotional person.
3 years later, Rollie still rants and raves, but this godfather claims he's in control.
It's reputation. People tell me, you know, how can you throw off your coat and open your tie? I haven't done that, including the whole 1985 road to Lexington. Take off my coat once. I mean, I'm starting to wear good clothes now, so I can't afford to do that.
Well, if it's true that clothes make the man, then Rollie's dressed for success.
I got a special shirt from Perry Como that was lengthened maybe about 25 inches, so it wouldn't come out of my pants.
At 53, his stock is higher than ever. Still, he keeps someone around to monitor his ticker.
I have my cardiologist on the bench. He's been on my bench 2 or 3 times, and he says, I'm fine. Just do what you have to do, and after the season, we'll think about, maybe I might die in between, but we'll do what we have to do.
But relax? Never. His players wouldn't stand for it.
He would not be an effective coach if he just sat there and calmly applauded or calmly disagreed.
Last week in the Wildcats' upset of Illinois, Coach Mass got so carried away he could hardly restrain himself, but there was still 1 second left on the clock.
We've always seemed to have one guy that was responsible for making sure that he didn't go out in the court.
No, that's all. You guys made that up, that designated Rollie hold. No, absolutely not.
No one had to hold Rollie back on Thursday night, and he was as animated as ever. The Cats mauled Kentucky and advanced into today's showdown with Oklahoma in the last stop on the road to the Final Four. Will Villanova make a Cinderella encore? Nobody knows, but one thing you can count on is that Rollie will be there to give it every last ounce of body English. You know, one other thing about Rollie's tightly knit teams, 47 of 47 senior players have graduated with their degrees, and I think, James, the day that they write the book on how to engineer a college basketball upset, Chapter 1 should be by Rollie Massimino. Can he do it today, though, against Oklahoma?
I think whichever team is effective in establishing its tempo today, Villanova, a moderate pace one, Oklahoma, an up-tempo, will frustrate the other team, and usually the end results are turnovers and uncharacteristic play.
All right, James, we're getting set now to take you back to Temple and Duke. They're locked in a duel at the Meadowlands. We'll take you there after this message and a word from your local state.
Duke's first 15 shots, Barry and Strickland finally got it going for 20 of Duke's next 25 points. Mark Macon led Temple with 8, but shot 4 of 15 from the field with 5 air balls. And hello again, everybody. I'm Tim Brandt with Bill Rafter. Neither team, Bill, really shooting well.
No, and I think it's the defense. Both of them going after one another, recognizing the sets and taking it away.
Take a look at some of the statistics here at halftime. There is your field goal percentage. You can see both teams shooting poorly. Temple's biggest lead was 10. Free throw shooting, Temple has been red hot.
Getting to the line, too.
And, of course, shooting. Danny Ferry's having a big day. We mentioned the 5 air balls by Mark Macon.
They've run some good defensive sets. See, Vrieswijk, he's going to end up popping out, but King trying to fight over the pick. They ended up giving it to Vrieswijk, and he's out here. You'll see the defense really coming, taking away, and I think that's what's kept Duke alive in his ball game. Good recognition. Now the empty side, the clear out. All the blue shirts over, caused the turnover. And without the defense, Duke would be in sad shape because they're not shooting the ball well. And, of course, the other end, Strickland not stopped. One of the few mistakes that defense has made for Temple.
Duke head coach Mike Krzyzewski said Duke had to stop Temple's three-point shots. So far, Temple's made only 1. And look at this.
Are they struggling on that end? But you notice Kevin Strickland started heating up a little. He has to help Duke.
Strickland has averaged 21 points in the tournament thus far. 21 points a game. Don't forget, coming up, our doubleheader continues. Villanova, Oklahoma, to see which team moves on to the Final Four.
Temple now doing a better job in the 3-second lane. They're taking away any step-ins by the post people.
This is Snyder, top of the key. Temple's biggest lead, 10. Duke got back into it with a 10-2 run.
Pretty. And they set a new look, and they got a good shot out of it.
Blew the easy shot. Strickland was standing around. The rebound almost came to him. Evans took it away. Perry inside, has it squatted away by the little guard. Oh, Snyder finally gets it back. Snyder hits it second time, and now Duke turns it back, and Evans gets it.
Good heads-up play, and then not good judgment by Billy King.
7 turnovers now for the Blue Devils. Quinn Snyder playing a marvelous game defensively on Evans. This is Macon, top of the key, working on King.
They all look to help on the dribble when Macon has the ball.
King still overplaying him to the right. Nice rebound inside by Perry, and he's fouled.
Snyder underneath. No reason for Duke not to put a body on Tim Perry. Of course, what happens is you front two, and you get caught out of position. See Perry being fronted by Bricky, and seals him off. He's almost a defensive player there. Great heads-up play by Tim Perry.
Second personal in Quinn Snyder for Duke. First team foul for the Blue Devils in this half. I said the little guy. Snyder 6'3".
Highly recruited. Was thinking of Kansas. Ended up at Duke. A violation now. Quinn Snyder broke the plane.
King better be careful. He's complaining to the officials. Duke has already had one technical.
This is being overzealous. Look at Quinn. He's losing it right now. It's like being on the high dive, and you can't swim.
Ball had been released. Tim Perry, 63% free throw shooter, gets another shot here. He was one of Chaney's projects. Needed a good big man, so they got Perry. He was 6'6", grew to 6'9". They worked with him, and he's a player.
That helps your recruiting when players stretch their size out.
31-25 Temple.
Almost had a 1-4.
Snyder. Big rebound inside by Bricky, and he kicks it back out.
Good look by Snyder. Furry presented himself. Duke had placed 4 people on the baseline. Temple reacted by a 1-4 set of their own. They really bend to what you do.
A reminder that Duke is playing without John Smith, who broke his hand Thursday night. He is a big player off the bench for the Blue Devils.
Played well the other night. I went over before the game and talked to him, and he is going to enjoy this in a vicarious fashion. Root his club home.
This is King. Good penetration. Puts it up and gets the roll.
Got a little bounce, too.
Mike Krzyzewski was saying with Smith out, Abdul Nabi has to play a lot better and pick up the slack along with Kubek. But with Kubek, it's a smaller lineup.
They really use Rivas to free people, and rightfully so.
King gets cut off, gets it back to Breezewick.
Tough team to dribble against Duke. They just see the ball, stay in position.
Evans to Rivas. Ball batted away, and it'll be Temple's basketball. Raw, Duke.
Good coordination of the officials there.
It was, because the first call was Temple.
Kevin Strickland put a hand in. Good heads-up play. I just get a kick out of how Temple changes. Great block.
Again, Bricky having trouble down low with the big guys.
You know, you could use a broom in practice. A lot of coaches do to make believe it's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I don't think it could really be as effective as played against Tim Perry. He's sensational.
Bricky 0 for 7. This is Breezewick, air ball. We've seen a lot of those this afternoon. Tim Brand and Bill Raftery at the Meadowlands in New Jersey. The winner of this game gets the first ticket to Kansas City, the first of the Final Four.
Tim, I really believe the shooting is poor because it's so meaningful. Each guy is not stroking as he normally would.
Duke started out slowly. Temple's Tim Perry blocked 4 of Duke's first 15 shots. Bricky is fouled by the big guy, Rivas. That's number 3. Field goal percentage, poor on both ends. Three-point shooting, neither team shooting well, and both thought that was a key. Berry and Strickland got hot in the first half, 20 of 25 points for Duke. Mark Macon has struggled.
John's in the game, no sweater. The defense has been nice play. Didn't finish. Good trim. The defense early, I thought, was part of the reason for the poor shooting, but now I think it's a combination of nerves and just maybe taking quick and, in effect, bad shots. 5 seconds, and Evans doesn't make those kind of mistakes.
That is the 6th Temple turnover.
They got 3 to go, right? Or
That's
this man will be all over them.
Temple averages under 10 a game. Now, as you look at Duke, let me tell you that Bricky is 0 for 8. Snyder 0 for 4. And as Strickland moves that one, King is 1 for 2. So the Duke shooting has been poor. Can't emphasize that enough.
Again, the quickness, maybe. And of course, Temple moves you out. Makes you take tougher shots, Tim.
This is Evans. Looks down deep. Macon turns. Works on King.
They got Abdul Nabi. Aggressive.
That's the second on Abdul Nabi. King and Macon. We've been watching that matchup. It looks as if King is overplaying him, but look at that. 4 for 17 from the field, so King doing another sensational job.
But this youngster has the feeling that the next shot is his first one. He doesn't think about the 4 for 17. He's liable to light up 5 in a row. And that's the philosophy that stems from the green light from John Chaney.
Way out front to Evans.
King cannot relax, is what I'm saying.
Macon's free for this one. Snyder with the rebound for Duke.
Still the matchup. You play a man in your area and you trade him off. It's a communications defense.
Berry had the hot hand in the first half for Duke.
Exchange and stay in your spot if you can. Berry, going to his left, able to turn and stroke.
He now has 13 points. And there's your lead. Under 15 minutes.
King forced him out further, made him bounce 5 times.
Bounce pass inside, knocked away. Here come the Blue Devils. Strickland, no foul call, followed by King.
Of course, he had Snyder there, too. A little more pressure. Now Mike Krzyzewski's trying to put the full court one on.
First tie of the game.
Danny Ferry's the one that knocked the ball away on the defensive end.
Macon
with the help.
Rivas on the baseline.
Kevin Strickland. It's easy to guard when you get some help, and it was Strickland that time for Duke. Mark Macon down here. He's using Rivas, even though he's at the foul line, to get free. Billy King gets out late, but the reaction by Strickland, beautiful in blocking the shot. And this is what makes Duke's D so tough. Right there, you see the reaction. Strickland over, gets a piece. Rivas ends up on the baseline, and a turnover, in a sense, for Duke. And he has really got it going a little bit now for his club. Kevin Strickland.
Kevin Strickland getting in that rhythm. Now, you mentioned Rivas stepping on the line. Temple has 5 turnovers in this half.
Temple not shooting the ball well, and I just think it's a guy in the face and a little nerves, too.
The Owls are 1 for 6 shooting in this half, making 4 of 19 for the game.
Abdul Nabi and Rivas both have to be careful, really teeing it up.
Temple zone gets a little more aggressive.
Wouldn't want to take those 2 big guys for burgers.
For 3. Duke's first lead of the ball game. Snyder's first basket.
High post set with a pop out. Now, John Thompson used to use this to delay a few years back.
Rivas looks inside. He's got Ferry on him. Ferry's talking to him.
Not able to get many good shots right now. Billy King forcing Mark Macon.
Berry. Air ball followed by Strickland. It's loose. Macon has it knocked away by King.
He says, yes, I did.
And that will be his third.
He does give you an effort. The spacing, he's got Macon down on the baseline quite a bit. He's 5 or 6 feet away. I think Temple could go over the top on him. First right here, the pressure. Look at that. He did not move his body weight. Billy King stayed stationary, able to play the dribble.
Macon 4 for 20. Is he thinking about it now?
I think Macon could get some. I don't think so with John's philosophy. I think he'll just keep taking good ones, or taking them. Question is, are they good ones?
Duke has scored 9 unanswered points. This is Macon. That's not a good one.
No.
Evans gets away with a walk. Snyder gets away with the steal.
Good look. Quinn Snyder. On the money. Good heads-up play by Howard Evans as Danny Furry had to help off. Well, the players are feeling the heat. Maybe John is too, huh? Not an easy game.
That's the second personal foul on Ferry.
The second personal. 14 fouls.
11 unanswered points for the Blue Devils.
Goes to the line, 2 shots.
You got him. Billy, you pitch. Win, you guys got shooters.
Well, John Chaney occasionally puts one guy on the free throw line, as you see Mark Macon down underneath. Sometimes he brings them all out.
Evans 1 for 5 from the field. Breezewick 2 for 7. Macon 4 of 21 now. Evans hits them both.
I think Evans is going to have to start shooting the ball, to be honest with you. Take a little pressure off.
One place they are shooting well is from the line. They're 12 for 12. King with the penetration gives it up to Strickland.
Different look.
King had the shot. Set underneath Abulabi.
Great look. A different set. So Coach K doing what you have to do. Different presentation each time down against the matchup.
Breezewick has it blocked.
What a hustle there. Abulabi hustling at one end. The other end trying to get position. Again, Snyder dragging the top guy out. And you see Abulabi, the cheat step there. Gather and deliver.
That dunk and diving out of bounds has fired up this Blue Devil team.
Now that's a checkout on Rivas.
Temple wanted a push. Good no call. Snyder for 3.
Got it on the arm. Evans.
That's his first personal. As you look at John Chaney.
Second foul charged to Howard Evans. His first personal, second team foul.
Mike Krzyzewski says this game goes to the continuous thinker.
And Danny Ferry feels is the continuous thinker on his club.
Snyder, 78% free throw shooter. One of the top high school players ever to play in the state of Washington. CBS Sports coverage of the World Figure Skating Championships from Budapest, Hungary tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern and Pacific time. Katarina Witt, Debbie Thomas, the two Bryans, a rematch of Calgary.
Sit, relax, and enjoy that tonight after a day of basketball.
For 2 days they battled, and tonight you can see it.
It's a must in my house. A little too aggressive. If you're not there, you've got to recognize the pass. And Abulabi out too high. He's really enthused.
Say that one more time for me.
Abulabi. And I know him. That's what makes it worse. Being from New Jersey here.
Duke's biggest lead of the game, 40-33.
Brantley now in. They need a little more speed on defense.
Bacon again with a miss. This one goes out of bounds. It'll be Duke ball. Temple hit their first three-point shot of the game. They have now missed 11 in a row.
Stepping up the pressure defensively, Duke. But I just think the judgment has to improve if Temple's going to steal this one.
Emotion now becomes a factor. Temple can feel the pressure. Duke is very emotional now, playing well. Under 11 minutes. The winner goes to Kansas City.
Well, they've spread the defense so well each time. Tough shot.
Ferry with a big rebound.
Got Evans on the reach. You know, you said Ferry earlier put it on the floor. He did it again, almost paid for it.
Foul number 2 on Evans. But you know, it's unusual because he came from a program with Morgan Wooten at DeMatha that teaches him to keep the ball up high coming off the rebound. Don't goose it. Don't put it on the floor. You get in trouble.
Of course, he's been trying to dribble too, but inside you've got to recognize the defense, and particularly Evans. Snyder stretches Evans a little. Whoops. Gotta watch the ball quick. They know King won't take that deep one.
Perry around the rim, rebound Perry.
Dribble penetration that time. Pretty effective weapon. Perry with a good one.
Maybe he rushed it a little bit. Temple went to that passive zone again, sagged back down in the paint. Duke could have melted some of the clock. Brantley with a shot.
That's a lift. Wasn't Kai saying he shot one the other night like a howitzer? They covered their eyes. I just think they need a little speed.
This is for 3.
Not
Evans with the foul.
Gee.
That's his 3rd.
That far, that's an NBA three-pointer. Was he dejected momentarily?
Robert Brickey comes back into the ball game for Duke. Rivas comes in replacing Brantley. And Abdul Nabi goes to the bench for the Blue Devils.
I get the feeling Temple isn't running at as much clock before they shoot the ball. The quick shot.
Absolutely.
Rerun it again. Maybe get Macon's head going.
Snyder hits the first one. Some say Snyder could be a better 2-man.
That's what he was, a shooting guard, supposedly. But replacing Tommy Abniker so well.
Duke on a 17-4 run. Have never lost at the Meadowlands. And that's the situation right now.
Of course, the adjustments at halftime by Mike Krzyzewski. A lot more presented to the Temple defense to handle, but I think the offense has been killing Temple.
Well, Snyder's become more active in that Duke offense. He had 0 points in the first half. He has 7 in the second. This is Macon.
My goodness.
Air ball number 6. Rebound Strickland.
I think it was a piece too, Tim.
Good hold up by Ferry. Get it over to Strickland. Now they'll set the offense.
Now, people seeing Mark Macon for the first time. He can play, folks. It's just great defense by Duke and Billy King. And really, he's in a hurry to get things done, and it's hurt his game.
He still may yet. We've got 9-10 remaining in this one. Strickland for 3. Duke in the second half.
Temple on the ropes. You know, it's not often they're behind and have to catch up. So they've got to exhibit patience.
Strickland hit that 3, and your buddy Abdul Nabi came off the bench like a rocket.
Got up higher there than he did the floor, huh? Great pressure.
Number 10.
Pressure on the ball and denying on the wing.
Kick, it'll be Duke's ball. You know, you mentioned Abdul Nabi that he got up higher on the bench than he did on the floor. I think it was Abdul Nabi that started this run with a slam dunk, came down the other end, dove out of bounds, and all of a sudden, the Blue Devils were ignited.
That's been contagious. You're right.
Squeezing that towel. He is really into this ball game mentally. And again, Coach K tells his players that this game belongs to the continuous thinker.
Stretching the zone now, using a little clock.
Snyder had a notion, has this one knocked away by Rivas, and it's a foul on Rivas. That's 4.
Now the 3-second lane opened because they had stretched out the defense on the perimeter shooters and able to cut Rivas a step late. Again, any motion, Ramon, see how just behind the man, he doesn't have that quick up and down with the puppies.
Team foul number 5. That's where both teams are. Again, Duke puts it on the floor, gets in trouble. Especially with a size difference. Bricky has to be quick and take it straight to the hoop.
Murray's trying to get Grieswick up and reverse on him.
25 on the shot clock.
Good patience.
Shot clock at 10. This is Strickland for 3.
Oh. This could be a 3, and of course the foul. We'll get the ball back. So he's talking to Paul. Look at the enthusiasm, and of course John Smith right next to him, who unfortunately can't play with the hand. So this, I believe, well, they gave it to Duke. Okay.
The bucket was good.
Right.
The foul was on Bricky underneath. That's Bricky's second personal.
Jim Maloney alongside John Chaney. Jimmy was a head coach at Niagara, down at Maryland.
You saw Dwayne Coswell coming back in for Temple. Rivas will sit down with 4.
They need some fulfilling trips.
The freshman lets this one get away. He knocked it out of bounds, but they say Duke touched it.
When you dribble against Duke, you get in trouble. You've got to pass and cut and use your bumps. They just help out so well, and it's really effective Macon's play.
Keep in mind, Mark Macon is just a freshman. He won't be 19 years old until April 14th. He's in a pressure situation. It's a championship game, and Duke leads 48-35. Lead of the game. Duke on a 23-4 run over the last 11 minutes. Timeouts remaining. Duke has 4. Temple has 3. Fouls to give. 1 for Duke. Temple 2. And the possession arrow belongs to the Owls. Foul trouble. You've got it. Rivas has 4. Evans has 3. And for Duke, well, the defensive Meister has 3. That's King.
Of course, Mark Macon out of Buena Vista High School, struggling at 4 for 22. And, of course, the credit from John Chaney to Norwayne Reed, his high school coach, for his growth. But right now, a test for him. Maintain the composure. Just take shots as they come.
Evans working on Snyder. Overplaying to the left. Pulls up his dribble. Snyder's all over him.
Great front job. The zone now.
Macon off the front of the rim. He is really struggling.
I just can't wait for him to make one. I feel for him. Little 1-3-1 now. You're going to have to exert some pressure on the ball.
See if they melt the clock here.
Yeah, Duke's going to use it as much as they can. Spread the floor, make the big guys run. See, Coswell has to come out. Doesn't have that quickness you need out there.
Barry, wide open jumper.
And Coswell couldn't recover.
Duke's biggest lead of the game, 15. Grieswick on the baseline, forces that one. Good fight for the rebound, it's loose. And Perry scores a tough bucket. Knocks the ball away, should receive a warning.
That lets them set up their defense, though. Got away with it. It's his schoolyard. Jersey kid.
It's actually a smart play if you don't get called. Officials do not give the warning. Do not even notice it.
Now they get Snyder to post up in this. Up and down. Strickland brought it away from Snyder. Quinn talking to him now.
That's only the second turnover in this half for the Blue Devils.
Dukes man-to-man. Give him a bump out there. Coswell got out late.
This one's for 3.
All right. That baby. Here's another. Almost a turnover.
It is a turnover. Perry gets it back.
They need a little spark. Who better than Mark Macon?
All of a sudden, the emotion's back on the bench of Temple. More importantly, it is also on the floor.
He's had to do it on his own, though. He needs some help.
Look at him. He's just lighting up. He wants the ball now.
And you have to do it with the bounce. Everybody sees it.
Breezewick for 3.
Coswell over the top.
And for Coswell, that'll be foul number 2. Now, the thing about Macon is when he penetrates off that dribble to get to the shot, he's not penetrating forward and back, but to the side.
That's right.
And that's difficult to defend against.
Around the horn. Got to do a little north and south. Got it at 10. They could use another turnover, Temple. Let's see. Snyder at the foul is the guy they like to get it to.
The lead is 10. We're under 5 minutes.
Duke's got to get Quinn Snyder's hand to get the job done. Well, he usually makes the right decision. Good job. Quinn Snyder talking as Furry held the ball. John Chaney trying to get his club to match up. Now they do.
Man-to-man for Temple.
They'll go down low and run a play.
Strickland. Fight for the rebound. Brickey has it. There's a whistle and a foul. At the end of the game, we will announce the Chevrolet players of the game. The most valuable player of each team, Chevrolet donates $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of each school to further assist qualified students in all chosen academic fields.
Of course, the defense of Mike Krzyzewski. When you're not shooting well and you can rely on that, you can win games and get leads as they've done so far today.
One of these teams is going to Kansas City. Fans are packed into the Meadowlands Arena to watch the 2 top seeds in the East. Duke leads Temple 50-40. Temple on an 18-game win streak. A win today would be the Owls' 33rd, and that is a school record. But they're in trouble now, as you see the shooting percentage.
Of course, when you're ahead all year long, as John Chaney has been, I'm sure they've practiced how to press, extend the floor, and trap, but you're not used to it. It's very hard to get players to do it when they haven't been doing it all year.
Billy Temple, not a good catch-up team. Or do we know that? They've never trailed by this much during the regular season. The lead is 10.
That's how you get to be number 1. Don't get behind.
Brickey hits the first one.
Now Duke will try and continue to play that aggressive man defense, but not foul. Want to keep the clock moving.
Brickey's only a 69% free throw shooter, but he hits both of these. Duke has 4 timeouts. Temple has 2.
A lot of high bumps now for Breezewick and Mark Macon.
King on Macon. Macon will drift back up top and give it to Evans. Evans gets a big pick from Rivas. Perry helps out, slides that way. Now this is Perry. Breezewick, and his shot is short. Perry with a rebound.
Duke's got to seal off. Force him to take a bad shot. You need that.
And Perry's called for the personal foul.
Every shot, the perimeter people have been played well by the Duke defense. This is a force by Breezewick. Perry in position because of the front by Brickey, and he can do some exciting things.
For Perry, that's his 4th. Now, in defense of Breezewick, he's 6'7", working against Snyder, who's only 6'3", so he thought he could free up once he got to the air. Quinn Snyder. Don't forget, coming up after this one, Villanova against Oklahoma. Oklahoma, obviously one of the highest scoring teams in the nation. Villanova, another great story by Rollie Massimino.
What great talent on Oklahoma, though. The guards, Blaylock, of course, Ricky Grace, and inside, King, Seeger, and Grant. Tough team. Of course, Rollie's idea is to make them change a little, play slowly.
Snyder has 9 points this half and 7 rebounds. Temple has pulled it back to 12 with 3:38 remaining, but Temple has a whole lot of trouble. Rivas has 4 personals, Perry has 4, Evans and Causwell both with 3. The only one that has any kind of foul trouble for Duke is King with 3. And there's Rivas sitting on the bench.
And I don't think he's saving him. I think he needs more speed out there. That's why Brantley is in.
Timeouts remaining. Duke has 3, Temple has 2.
They might have the match they want here.
Macon working on Quinn Snyder. Again, the shot is short. Perry with the rebound.
He is strong. Quick to the ball and strong.
The lead's 10.
But it helps when you have a big guy who can handle. Quinn Snyder was taken out of the play. Very able to deliver. Good man-to-man pressure by Temple now.
Under 3 minutes now. The shot clock at 20.
They'll look to create a double if they can. Yeah, you see Brantley, now they got what they want. They just reached in.
Grieswick gets called for the foul. Macon and King have some words. Brantley also has some words with Ferry. But Ferry controls his emotions, as does Brantley.
Easy call, but a good play by John Chaney.
There's the push.
Yeah, not really necessary. Not at all.
That's what started the tempers.
Jim Bain quick there. See all the officials in the NCAA now very cognizant of altercations. Right on top of it.
You can just feel the electricity in this building. Tension is high. 17 points, 5 rebounds for Strickland.
Temple not used to scoring quickly. Great job. On the, that was good.
So did I. Great rebound by Brantley. Once, twice. The ball's loose. Evans resets. Does fire this time. Ferry with a big rebound.
Brantley. Danny showing some toughness in there, isn't he?
Temple was controlling the boards, and it was as if Ferry said, that's enough.
Defensively, they're opposites, but they're both very thorough, and a little dejection setting in on the Temple Owl bench.
I still think it's too early for that, though. With 2:23 remaining, the lead is just 10.
At the line, 1+1.
Ferry having a fine day. 15 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 for 2 from the line. Now Bricky gets elbowed by Brantley.
They got a dead ball foul here.
The officials will confer. Our referee, Larry Lembo. Umpire, Jim Bain. Umpire, Art McDonald. From the Big East, the Big Ten, and the Big East.
So they have actually 4 free throws. They got to finish the one-on-one first.
And the foul is on Brantley for throwing the elbow, so it'll be a 1-and-1 after Ferry finishes this.
That shot of John showing the world how he thinks. I mean, great run. You mentioned there is time, though, 2:23. Now he's back at it. Just a momentary lapse there, trying to comfort himself.
Plus, there's a big drop-off between Ferry and Bricky when it comes to foul shooting. Ferry, 83%. Bricky, just 69%. Bricky misses. Temple has it. Evans pushes, penetrates, and is fouled.
Snyder got him. Good step in. You may have seen the anticipation by the baseline defense. They have not picked up a charge. They're very good at it, Duke, but they were ready that time.
3 personals on Snyder.
Duke foul charged to Quinn Snyder, his 3rd personal.
Howie Evans shooting 1 and 1. He's an 83% free throw shooter. One of the best high school guards to come out of Philly in a long time. West Philadelphia High School.
Gotta get something out of their defense now, Tim.
Evans 6 for 7 from the line.
You look for turnovers in the opponent's backcourt. That's how you can score quickly. Something they have to do. Good try by Evans.
Dangerous pass to Ferry. And he's fouled by Breeswick. Breeswick wanted the walk, didn't get it.
Well, he got bumped first, and the ref called it there. Handled the press well.
Duke has 3 timeouts remaining. Temple just 2. Fouls to give, none. Both are over the limit, 1 and 1. Possession arrow belongs to the Owls of Temple. The lead is 11 with 2:09 remaining. Biggest Temple lead was 10 in the first half. They led by 3 at the half. Biggest Duke lead, 15. Ferry now 4 for 5 from the line, 18 points. He came to play, didn't he?
He sure did, and so did Duke. Much improvement since the other night, Thursday night. Much sounder. Defense really stepped up a notch.
Under 2 minutes to play.
Tell you, Macon may end up bringing King home with him. He's been with him all day.
Evans fires up a 3-pointer. That cuts it to 9.
They don't want King to touch it because of the poor shooting.
Get it back to the quarterback. That's Snyder. Brantley all over him. High pass. Strickland gets it.
Once again, Furry able to handle certainly helps. Pretty heads-up play.
Strickland calls a timeout. 1:28 remaining. 57-48. Right now, let's go to New York. Here's Jim Nance. Jimmy?
All right, Tim Bransos, the Blue Devils by 9 there. And coming up next, you're going to see the Southeast Regional Final between Oklahoma and Villanova. Dick Stockton and Billy Cunningham are in Birmingham, and they have this preview live from Birmingham. Let's go there.
A lot to be proud of as well.
Well, the reason they can run and gun is because of their defense. They pick you up 94 feet. They apply the pressure, either man-to-man, trapping defenses, full court. They come after you.
Everyone knows about Rollie Massimino from his championship year. Billy Tubbs, what kind of a guy is he?
Well, you know, it's interesting talking to him about his defense, and he's got a great sense of humor. He doesn't take himself too seriously. He said, hey, you know, I've been coaching this defense for 20 years. This is the first time it's ever worked.
Once you get to this level, everyone knows who you are. So coming up, it'll be Villanova, the underdogs, against Oklahoma here in Birmingham. And right now, let's go back to New York and Jim Nance. Jim?
All right, Dick. Oklahoma versus Villanova, about 3 minutes after the hour of the tip there in Birmingham. Let's go back to the final minute and 28 seconds at the Meadowlands. Duke leading Temple 57-48. Back to Tim Brandt.
All right, Jim, with 1:28 remaining. Temple has cut the lead to 9. Duke has 2 timeouts remaining. Temple has 2.
Of course, Temple, as noted, not used to being in this position, so they're not getting as much out of their press to get the quick turnover leading to the... Oh, that was close to a violation, wasn't it?
Snyder is down, and I don't know why.
Must have just turned his ankle.
He's pointing to his left ankle.
Says he's all right. As he makes his cut to the corner. Oh, he just got caught up in traffic. Howard Evans actually trying to hold him from falling.
Don't forget, coming up next, Villanova and
championship game. That's like Lebo playing for North Carolina last night.
He's not going out. Use the backcourt well on the inbounds.
Ferry on Macon. Macon will be called for the push.
As they get the ball in his hand, 83% free throw shooter. Their go-to guy.
Macon's second personal. Not a bad foul in that it stops the clock, but you don't want to foul Ferry.
You don't have many choices at this point in the game, do you?
We talked in the pregame show about Mark Macon and Billy King, and Billy King has been all over him.
Mark Macon is going to be, and will continue to be, a great player, but today Billy King right on him. A lot of assistance. Of course, the man-to-man philosophy of Mike Krzyzewski is aid your partner, rotate to the ball.
Ferry hits them both. The lead is 11.
They touch the floor now. That's Duke's signal that they're ready.
Three-pointer. So Dowdell cuts the lead to 8. Strickland again, close to a back violation.
If they could have come up with one there, it would kill some clock now.
Ricky gives the touch pass back to Strickland.
Watch for the intentional foul if they can't get it right away. They just got to give one any place.
John Chaney is pleading for the foul. Foul him, he says.
Post time.
35 seconds remaining.
Not able to get out there. They're going to give two. No question, John was doing the right thing. Players not able to react. Imploring Jerome Dowdell. Get out on him and give one. Coach Smith over there assisting. Well, they're happy for him. Great part of this terrific year, ACC championship. And the guy who started at Army, going back to the Final Four.
40-year-old Chicago native. Went to the U.S. Military Academy, coached there before moving on to Duke. Snyder can't convert. Temple's got to push it quickly. They're sure they have all day.
Yeah, they sure do. Get on the board.
Macon for three. Air ball. Outlet pass. Strickland. It's over.
Exclamation point, huh?
61-53.
Pretty play.
Duke is going to Kansas City. Strickland's basket, the slam dunk, the exclamation point. Oh! And Coach K knew he had a ticket to Kansas City. The number 2 seed Duke wins by 10. And the Blue Devils become the first team to advance to the Final Four. As they cut down the nets in celebration. And Duke heads for Kansas City. We'll head back to New York. And Jim Nance. Jim?
Duke has done it. The Blue Devils were down by as many as 10 points in the first half before coming on, pouring it on in the second half for that 63-53 victory. The Chevy MVPs. How about Billy King with that phenomenal defensive job? And King shutting down Mark Macon, 6 for 28 from the floor for Macon, as King, again, was just all over him on defense. Tim Perry for Temple, and we'll continue. Villanova and Oklahoma still to come. The Southeast Regional Final as we continue on the road to the Final Four here on CBS in just a moment.